How are you all? It's Saturday afternoon today. So I know that you must have had some lunch and then joined the session today. So drink some water and like you can join the session after that so that you have some enthusiasm to continue the session because it will last for like around 1 hour, 15 minutes or so. So keep up the enthusiasm because you are here to learn something. You already have, all of you have taken your first steps while completing the lessons of PHP on Progate. And now, before you start building your own projects, you want to actually learn the GitHub sessions. So, like, learn about the GitHub and how you're going to upload your projects on that. So, let me introduce a bit about Progate and introduce you to the speaker of today before we begin. So, just let me know in the chats if my screen is visible to you all. Is it visible? If it will be good because I can't see you, so it will be good if someone can mention it on the call itself.
Yes.
Yes, it visible.
Okay, nice, awesome. So, thank you everyone for joining today, and like I would like to all welcome you all for the GitHub session. You, as I mentioned, that you have already earned your spot, and unlike others who had taken part in this particular event but still didn't complete the lessons over the time of 15 days, 15-20 days. So you are already amongst them. You are already growing more than them because you are learning, and now you want to actually build your projects. So you are already a step ahead of all of them. So I would like to welcome each one of you because you have earned your spot over here. So for the PHP event, we have two members in the community team of Progate, Harsh and me, who were handling this. So throughout the PHP event, we were in the communication with you all until the project of Vivithon ends. We will be there for the communication to help you all out with any queries related to PHP event. A bit about Progate because all of you already know, but not many of you know that why we are doing this for you all because we are helping students to take their first steps towards programming. So what like because you have already learned PHP lesson, you know that we are slide based learning and we are actually helping students to learn and code at the same time. So through the Progate platform, you get an experience to education which can start from the very beginner friendly platform and can also help you become an independent coder if you use your skills and utilize it in the right way and build some even small project. So why, like I mentioned, that not many of you know that why we are doing this is because learning to code had changed our lives. Why we are doing this because when the CEO of Progate started Progate in Japan, he was struggling a lot with programming. So he wanted to help the students around him to take their first steps. He wanted to help the students who were struggling to learn through notebooks, books, and through videos. Because when you learn through videos, you must have noticed that switching between a video and a code editor is so tough, right? So he wanted to create something in which students can learn and code at the same time. That is why he came up along with his friends during his university time, just like you. He came up with the concept of Progate and they built it together. And we believe each member of Progate believes that programming had changed our lives, so we wanted to help the students around who actually want to learn and get into the field of programming. So vision, so that's why we started. And the vision of a Progate, as I have been always mentioning it to you all, that empowering everyone to open new doors through programming. Like today, for this PHP event, you have completed the PHP lesson, and then you are eager to learn about GitHub so that you can make some project and upload it on GitHub pages. So that is the vision of Progate, and we are taking some help of some community members in and around our community who are actually helping us out by taking sessions for you all. Mission, be the gate to the exciting world of programming because you want to start programming, so that is why gate. And path, to become an independent coder. So when do you become an independent coder? That is the question. So, see, whenever we start learning to code, we learn a lot of languages. And I remember when I was in my first year, in my first semester, I was taught C++. Then in my second semester, I learned Java. Third semester, Python. So we keep on learning different languages. But do we implement them practically? That is the question over here. So if you're not implementing your language, if language which you're learning in the right way, in the right project, then what is the use of skilling up? So even if you are learning some small project, just make sure small project, make sure that you build something. Utilize your learning, utilize your skills in the right way, so that you can help others also around you to become an independent coder. That is what the mission of Brigade is. So I want to see that, are you all excited for the session today? Show me some enthusiasm on the chats so that I can see. And some of you can also unmute yourself and mention that if you're excited for the session and the PHP Webathon which is coming, because I can't see the chats right now. Okay, so let me introduce you to the speaker of today. We have Abhi Jain, the founder of Ozone Apps, and he's also very active in the open source. And what Ozone Apps is an open source project aiming to bring the best UX to AOSP applications. So he might be telling you about, like, he might be sharing about you with his experience about Ozone Apps during his session. And currently, he is also a student of SGSITS Indore. Currently, also working as the GitHub campus expert. So he has been one of the person who is very active in the technical communities, and we got to know about him. And he is here to help you out with the GitHub. So even if you're a beginner, you don't know from where to start, how to use GitHub, and how to upload a project on GitHub pages for your project PHP Webathon, don't worry, he will be here to help you out with that. And he will be starting from the very basics, so that a beginner like you or someone else who wants to learn GitHub from the very basics can learn through this session. So, Abhi, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for the introduction, Ankita. So let me just share my screen. Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, welcome everyone. Today here with Abhiz and I'm here to help you out with getting started with Git and GitHub. So first of all, we'll begin with our agenda for the today. So these are all the points that we'd like to cover today. First off, I'll be introducing you to the VCS, that is version controlling system. Then we'll be configuring Git on your local machines. Then I'll help you out kickstarting a portfolio on GitHub. Then we'll have some code management hands-on exercising. After that, we'll be wrapping up. And towards the end of the session, we'll have an AMA session so that we can clear off all your queries. So without wasting much time, let's jump right into it. So what is version control system? As the name suggests, it's something related to version controlling. Now, as you might have heard and also used various versions of applications. For example, if you are an Android phone user, you have different versions of Android like Lollipop, Jelly Bean, KitKat, and so on, right? So those are all versions of a operating system that you're running on your smartphone. So basically what version controlling means is that you have various iterations of a particular software that you release to public over time, and controlling those releases is all about version control system. Now, why do you need VCS actually? So before VCS, what the programmers used to do was that they used to add hefty comments to their codes, whatever they were writing. As if you can see from the meme that I have no idea what this crappy function does and how it does and why it works, but it seems to be important. Please don't touch it. Now, this isn't something a production quality code, what I would say, and it's just something that you can have to trace back what changes you made at an earlier stage by looking at those comments. But that's not what programmers today do, because today we have VCS actually in our hands that can be used. So here is a basic illustration of what a VCS is. So for example, at day one you created a file and you have a project in that. So that's the initial iteration and created project. Then on the second step, you add another code file in the created file or edited the previous file. Now what you did is that you modified the earlier file. For example, you broke some piece of code, like as in you guys are doing PHP. So in the second iteration of your website, you somehow broke some functionality of a website and you want to trace back from where that change came. So without VCS, it would have been a hefty process because reading each and every line and understanding what it is doing and from where that function is being called would have been a tedious process. But thanks to VCS, we can trace back that process easily and understand what made our code break and how can we repatch it. So that's what about VCS is. So benefits of using VCS. We can easily modify our code base. We can revert errors. We can collaborate with our team easily and understand from which developer has contributed which piece of code and from where the changes are occurring in our main code base. And last but not the least, you can have a backup of your code ready every time and revert back to any stage, whichever you want, unless you have all the VCS functionalities implemented in your code base. So what actually Git is? Git is basically a version controlling system that was created by the founder of Linux back then. So it basically is a VCS system that you can easily install on your machines and use it in your everyday projects. So how do you configure Git? So here is a Git SCM website. The URL is simplegitscm.com. If you want, you can do that right away, or you can even do it at a later stage. It's very easy configuration. I'll just open that website for you. So here is a website, and you have the downloads available in all the platforms that you have: Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. It's as easy as installing any other program. So you just have, if you're a Windows user, just click on Windows, and you'll have your downloads ready. So after you have downloaded your file, you can simply install it and have Git running on your command line. Now, how does that even look? So let me just open my terminal and show you. So here's my command prompt, and if I just type git, here are all the various options that Git provides us. So you can just go through the documentation once and understand what each and every command is doing. In this session, I'll be helping you off with the basic commands that you will be needing to make your website live with GitHub Pages. Right? So after that, what is GitHub? Now people often confuse Git with GitHub, but they are basically two very different things, right? Git is basically a version controlling system, and GitHub is basically a cloud project that helps you host your project online. So you don't have to worry about backing that up. So theoretically, if you go to understand GitHub, you must have an understanding of Git. Git is an open source VCS that was started by Linus, the same person who created Linux. It is similar to other VCS systems like Subversion, CVS, Mercurial, or such few softwares. If you ever heard them, and even you haven't, then it's fine. GitHub is a great repository hosting service, but it adds many of its own features. You have a lot of functionality like GitHub Access, GitHub Pages, GitHub Workflows, GitHub, a lot of things that you can play around and tinker with GitHub, right? So while Git is a command line utility, as I already showed, that you can have your own VCS control system installed on your system and use it to manage your projects, right? And GitHub provides a web-based user interface. It also provides access and control several collaboration features such as wikis, basic task integration tools for every project. Now, that's what theory says, but according to me, we can simply quote it as VCS on the cloud. That is version controlling system on someone else's computer. That's how I define cloud as, right? So enough of theory. Now let's straight away jump into the GitHub website and we'll get a hands dirty on how actually things look. So I'd request all of you to please open github.com on a separate tab if it's visible for you. Else you can just watch it while I'm doing it.
Yeah, so if some of you are not able to open the github.com as now, we have the recording of the session and we can also share it with you all after this session. So but it will be good if you can try hands-on along with Abhi at the same time. Yeah. Thank you.
So I hope you might have opened the URL by now. If it's feasible for you, or else Uncle already told, you can have the recording later on and you can do it at a later stage and just see what I'm doing right now. So most of you might already be having an account with GitHub, but those of you who don't have, you just have to sign up with this basic form, get a username, enter your email and password. That's how simple it is. But as I already have an account, I'll simply be logging into my GitHub account. Yeah, that's how your dashboard looks like. Now I'll go to my own profile. So this is the basic GitHub user interface that you have, right? So here to the top of the panel, you can redirect to the GitHub home. Then you have a search box. You can search anything in your GitHub repository, and not just yours. You can search any code, any keyword throughout any open source repository that's available on GitHub. Then you have pull request, issues, marketplace, explore. There are a lot of features that have been integrated into GitHub. Now I'll just show you a basic repository that I created for this purpose of this workshop. It, so this is the basic repository structure. Here in the address bar, you have the URL of the website. That's basically github.com/username slash the name of the repository that you have created, right? And this is my repository. Here I have various tabs, the code of the repository, the issues that people have created, the pull request, GitHub Actions can be integrated with it. You can make a GitHub project out of a repository. You can add a wiki as a documentation to serve for this repository. You have security tab, insights, settings, and whatnot, right? So there are a lot of things that you can explore on your own. And as of now, I'll be helping you out creating a basic pull request so that you understand how actually VCS works. So I'd request all of you to kindly open this URL up. It's github.com/devabxds let's push. Here is the URL. If you are not visible there, kindly go through it. Just in case anyone can create a pull request, it would be beneficial for others too. So you can show a response in the chat if you are able to open this URL right now. Anyone? Cool. So what you need to do to create a pull request is that. So Mansi quoted that. No, I'm not able to. So what's the issue? If you can just unmute yourself and speak up. You just have to open this URL, right? That's not a big deal, I guess.
I think you can share the link in the
Yeah,
chats if
sure, sure,
possible.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So now you have this folk like please ensure that you have already logged into your GitHub accounts and you have the interface like I am viewing right now. Okay. Then towards the top right corner, you'll have a button called fork. So what you need to do is that just click on this fork button once. And on the top of the screen, you'll have your username here, right? Where Ami Hackers is written. Instead of that, you'll have your own username here. So what you just need to do is that you just click on that thing. For example, I'll just focus on my Ozone Apps project. So what is forking? So forking is basically creating your own clone of the repository from the master repository, right? So here I have forked this repository, let's push into my Ozone Apps project. For you guys, it might be different because you are forking it to your own private GitHub account. So it would be your username slash let's push. Fine. After that, what you need to do is that you need to edit this readme and create a pull request. Now it's very simple. See, you have an edit icon here towards the top of the readme file. If you can see that here, right? Towards the right of readme.md, you have this edit icon. So just click on that edit icon. Then you have to go to the next line and enter your details here. Like For example, if you are number 2 here, then hey, I am XYZ, whatever your name is, and I am learning GitHub or whatsoever you want to write here, right? That's fine. After that, what you need to do is that create a new branch for this comment. Like I'm just writing example here to show you. I just write example here to show you off. Then you have to enter a commit message here. So commit message would be add XYZ or whatever your name is, you can write it here. Add, say for example, I'll be writing add Abhi. Then what I'll be doing is that create a new branch. I'll be selecting this option for creating a new branch for this commit and start a pull request. Then I'll click on propose changes icon. Like, are you guys with me? Like, are you able to do it till here? Anyone? Cool. So then you have to click on propose change button. So what this basically does is that it will help you open a pull request into the original repository. That is, you can add your changes to my repository as well. That's how collaboration works. You have a fork of the original repository, you commit your own changes into that, and then you ask the author of the original repository to merge your changes into that. Right. So after that, you'll be having a screen like this when you click on the propose change button, right? So here would be your commit message. You can even change it now if you want. Then simply click on create pull request button. So I hope you can get till here. I'll be merging your pull request that you can see your changes live here itself. So whenever you create a pull request, I'll be having a request here. I can accept that and your name will be displayed in the original README file here. Code open folks saying that I'm not a member of any organization. What to do? So Sakshi T, where did you fork that repository? Like, did you forked it in your personal account? Because a lot of people have already been able to successfully fork it right here, right? See this. Akshay has already forked this repository here, and you can see it easily in the forked options, like who all have forked it. So Yashika has already even opened a pull request, so I'll just merge it for you guys so that you can have a view on that. So there is an issue with that, okay? You don't have to create a pull request in your own repository. Actually, you need to create it in my repository. But I'll just do a sample up for you guys quickly. So what I do is that, again, I'll be editing this. I'll be writing example here. Again, the commit message would be add XYZ, create a new branch, commit changes, then base. What you have to do here is that base should be my repository here, not your own. So it would be dev.xds slash let's push in your case, I guess. You can just check it out once. While creating that pull request, it should be in my repository. Arzav has created this request successfully. So if I just merge it and confirm changes, he'll have his name written here, I guess. Yeah, see. Arzav has created these changes and it's in my original repository. So congrats, Arzav, you have successfully created a pull request into my original repository. You guys can eventually create a simple pull request, right? That's not very difficult, I guess. If you have any problems, just write it down in the comments so I can help you out. I'll quickly wind this up. Cool. So I have another pull request from Akshay. I can merge it here. So yeah, you can see it's written Akshay here because Akshay created the changes and I have merged it into my repository. So that's how easy it is. You can easily create pull requests and merge the changes into your own repository. So that's how collaboration basically works, right? So that's as simple as that, right? So we have gone through version control system. We have configured it on your machine if you have done it already, or you can even do it at a later stage. Now moving towards the main point of the day, that is deploying the website to GitHub pages. Now that's where a lot of people face issues, and that's why I'm here to help you out with that. So as of now, you might not be having a base ready for your website. So you can simply grab a free template for your website from this URL that I'll just be pasting in the chat box. Just quickly open this URL up, and there are like thousands of templates available free to be used here, right? So you can grab any one of them for the purpose of just deploying it to GitHub pages as of now. So for example, I'll be choosing this template be black from this URL that I've pasted in the chat box, right? So what you need to do is that just download this. This contains all the source code for this given website, and we just need to deploy and learn how it is being deployed to our GitHub pages, right? So you don't have to go into the details of the source code that's been given to you. You just have to simply download that file for now and keep it. We'll be waiting for 5 minutes so that you guys can choose some template and download it. And let me know in the chat box once you have done downloading the files. I have another pull request. Meanwhile, I'll be merging that also. But wait, we have some conflicts, so I'll be resolving them. So are you guys able to download the template? Please let me know in the chat box. Cool. We'll wait for around 3 minutes and then we'll begin. Yeah, so creating a repository in GitHub pretty easy. So what you just need to do is that go to your GitHub account. Like my username is DaveBXD. Yours might be different, so you just have to go to your own profile. Then click on this repositories tab. So you have these four options: overview, repositories, projects, and packages. So as of now, we are dealing with repository. So click on the repository tab. There you'll be creating a new repository for this new deployment. Right? So it's very simple. You just have to click on this new button, and this is the new repository template, right? So you just have to enter the basic details here about your repository, and then you can enjoy deploying it on GitHub pages. So for example, I'll be naming this repository B block. Like you can name it anything you wish. It's not an issue, not a constraint, no hard and fast rules. Just name it anything, right? Then your repository should be public, right? Because that's the condition for GitHub pages like this. You need to have a public repository to be able to deploy in GitHub pages. So select public from here, and rest you don't have to click on any other option. Like even I can help you with this quick link if you are not able to find this create option. You can just go here and add the basic details. Right. So name of my repository is B Black. So is my screen visible to you, right? Good. So I hope you guys are able to get till here and you have entered the name of the repository, whatever you wish to have, made it public, and at last you have to create this repository. That's it. Like that's all literally it. You just have to enter the name, select public, and create. And there you have it. You have your own GitHub repository where you can upload the source code and enjoy deploying it to GitHub pages. We'll be doing it right now. But first, I want everyone to get till here. So once you have created a repository successfully, please drop your comments in the chat section so that we can move ahead. Okay, two people have done it. I'm waiting for a few more responses. Yeah, so Falcons IAM. So you can kindly unmute yourself and tell me what is the issue you are facing so that I can help you out with that. Or you can even write a query in the chat box itself so we can look at it. No, you don't have to add any file as of then. As of now, you just have to create an empty repository. We'll be adding our changes now. So if anyone have missed it, once again, there is a URL github.com/new in the chat box. You can just visit that URL. Then we have to write the repository name, make it public, and create repository. That's it. That's what you have to do right now. Okay, so like 5 to 10 people have already done that. And shall I wait for more people? Are you guys on it? Okay, two more. Cool. Then we can move towards uploading our source codes, right? So I hope you guys are on the same page. You have this quick setup option here and a lot of things written, right? You can quickly set up this thing, create a new repository on the command line, or push any existing repository from the command line. Or you can even import code from existing repositories. Like these are the four options that GitHub provides you for creating any new repository. So if you guys are on the same page, we'll just progress towards uploading that template file onto our GitHub repository. Now, let me show you how to do that. For that, you have to click on this uploading an existing file option. Are you guys able to see this option right here? In the quick setup of box, you have an uploading an existing file, right? Just click it right here, and there you have it. This is your upload window. This is the interface that GitHub provides you for creating a new repository using your existing source codes. So there are various options that we can be using, but as of now, I don't expect that all of you have Git installed on the system. So we'll be using this web interface for uploading our changes here. So it would be great if I split my screen into two halves so you can see that easily. So even you can do that, like split it up into two halves so that you can drag and drop every change and put it into repository directly. I hope you have reached here. So if anyone has any problems, you can drop it in the comments. We'll solve it along by. So now, are you guys done till here? Let me know. Cool. So the next process is uploading your changes onto GitHub, right? So it's as simple as dragging and dropping a file into another folder on your system. So what you do is that you go inside the folder where you just extracted the template, select everything in one go, and drop it right here. You can see on the GitHub window that each and every file is being uploaded to GitHub. Pretty simple, right? Just dragging and dropping the changes. As you upload files to other media like WhatsApp or Telegram, it's as easy, just dragging and dropping the changes right here. So once you have finished uploading the changes, GitHub will ask you to commit those changes. Now, some of you might already know what a commit is, and if you don't know, then I'll just shortly explain it. A commit is basically something that helps you keep track of the changes. So there are two lines in commit section as you can see. The first one is commit title and second is commit description. So it's always good practice to write the changes properly so that if anyone else tries to use your code, it's easy for him to trace back. So for example, what I'll be writing here is that add template website. As we are using a template, we can just mention that add template website. Now it's always a good practice to add a few more details about the thing that you are adding. So what you can do here is that you can just go to the template page again, if possible, and copy the URL. Right? And you can add it in the description section right here. If that's pretty feasible for you guys, and even if it's not, that's not a big deal, but it's always good coding practice to write the source code, or if you're taking things from anywhere else, it's always good to give the original credit of the authorship to the author of that particular code, right? So I'll be just mentioning template taken from this URL. That helps us make a sensible comment. Like if anyone else wants to look into that what these guys just did, so you can easily trace back and understand, okay, that guy added this template which was taken from this URL. So that's pretty easy to understand, right? After adding this comment things and describing what you just did, the last step is just simply commit those changes right here. So what GitHub does for you is that it will process all your files and help you organize the files in a repository structure. So after it's done processing the file, you'll have a complete repository with all your files. So we'll just wait for this process to finish up. Meanwhile, you guys can catch up till here. If you are facing any issues in committing or uploading files, you can drop it in the comment section, chat box for here, like, and I can help you out with that eventually. Anyone, any problems? So yeah, you can see here that we have successfully created the repository. I'll just sneak peek into the chat box. What Pavan is asking, can you share how to create sub repositories also, like folder and repository? So you can see that we already have folders here, right? Hussein, yeah, we'll eventually recap everything so you can catch up. So as Pawan was asking how to create folders, right? So we have just uploaded everything, each and every change as it is. So it also had folders, files, and everything. So the structure came as it is right here. You can see it has SVG folder, IMG folder, and everything is pretty organized, right? So we just drag and drop it. But if you want to create a new folder from this existing interface, it's very easy, right? You can just add file, create new files, and this is how you do it. You just type the name of the file and create it right away. And if you want to add it inside a folder, just go inside that folder, then add a file, and there you have it, right? B black slash img slash name of a file. And if you want to create a new folder, for that you need to use git cmd, that is command line tool for that purpose, right? We won't jump into that right now. We have to commit changes in new branch of master. So Akshay, GitHub pages always uses master source only. Like you can't deploy a GitHub pages from a different branch other than master. So that's some restriction that GitHub has as of now. So you have to commit it to master only. Understand if you're stuck, so I'll just help you out briefly. So just you have to go to this website, download the template, extract it in a folder. Then there is this URL github.com/new. Just paste it back if you want. Others can proceed towards that uploading the code. Meanwhile, we are catching up. Okay, Usan. So after that, you have to write your repository name, make it public, and create repository. So you will have an empty repository. Then you'll be having four options, right? I'll just make another repository if you guys missed it, so you can catch up right now. Just name it example. Public create. Then upload an existing file. Select all the files, drag and drop it. That is it. Then you just write a commit name, commit title, and commit description, and commit it right away. So it's that easy. If anyone missed it, you can simply catch it up. So anyone, have you successfully done this till now? Have you guys uploaded the files? Anyone who's able to do it, or are you guys facing any issue? Yeah, Akash, it will take a bit of time because the source code is not very small. It depends on your internet size too. It's like 605 KBs, but processing takes a bit of time, right? You are uploading 28 files, and the GitHub will reorganize its structure, right? It will create subfolders, then it will create files inside those folders. It will link it to the repository code. So it's a bit hefty process and it will take a bit of time, right? I hope you guys have reached till here, right? We'll just wait for another 2 minutes for people to catch up till now. Meanwhile, if anyone of you have any doubt, you can just directly post it in the chat box. We'll resolve it along by. Good to hear that you were able to make the repository and upload the files. I hope most of you have done it, right? I can read like at least 10 people have done this already. Cool, so good going. All right, so let's proceed towards the deployment part now. That's what you guys are here today for, right? You need to deploy it live. So here you can see various tabs on your repository page. The base page is the code page, which all of you might be on till now. But now you'll be moving towards the settings tab right here. Like that's the last option. So click on the settings tab, and there towards the bottom you'll have an option called GitHub Pages. This is the section from where you'll be configuring your deployment to the live website, right? So this is the page that you'll just get from clicking the settings tab, scrolling a bit down, and you'll have this section, GitHub Pages. Can you guys read it? GitHub Pages here. So as you can read here, you have two options right away, the sources option and the theme chooser option. So what the sources options do is that here you select the source for your deployment. Here, this is the master tab, right? We select the master branch, we deploy it in the root itself, and I'll just wait for a minute so that you guys can catch up till here. What I just did was, it was a default option, source was none. I changed it to master and let it every option remain default as it was before. No changes, just changing from none to master. None to master, that's it. We'll wait for another minute so that everyone catches up till here. Simple, right? Just changing from none to master. That's it. Cool. So the last step is clicking the save button, right? You guys did till now none to master and save it. So you have successfully saved the source of GitHub pages here. Now we can jump back to the code section, and there you have it. In the environment tab, it was empty till now. You'll have GitHub pages written here. If you guys are still with me, you will have an option here like this, GitHub pages. We just click on that and see it, right? Deployed by GitHub pages 16 seconds ago and it's active. And to view this deployment, just click on view deployment option and see, here we got it. We just uploaded the local website sources onto GitHub pages and it's available for you to view. And the service is free to use, so you can deploy as many websites as you want on GitHub pages. It's as simple as that. And the URL is defined as the base URL is devabxda.github.io for me. For you, it would be username.github.io slash the name of the repository from where the deployment is taking place. So my repository name was bblog. So my URL is username.github.io slash bblog. That is the repository name. Anyone of you have successfully deployed it till now? Please let me know in the chat box. You can share the URL here so that we can just catch it up. If it's feasible for you guys, just share your URLs in the chat box. We'll just view 2-3 deployments from you guys and then we'll move on. Cool. So me212.github.io slash am12cool. As Hussein is having some error, file not found. So kindly share the URL of the GitHub. I'll just trace it from here itself, github.com. So Hussein, I told you to drag and drop the files directly into this. You don't have to drag the folder, right? Because the GitHub pages will be reading the index.html as the base source. So what you can do now is that, as I don't expect you to be having the VCS pre-installed, so just delete this repository and recreate it. And just drag and drop the files inside the folder. Don't drag the folder itself. So Arav has done the deployment venue. Good work. Soumya has done it. Hamsika Ghate, Savita Sai. Congrats to all of you. You have just deployed your first website on GitHub pages. Very nice. A lot of you have done this. Good to see that. It's cool, right? It's as easy as dragging and dropping and just configuring the source. I don't know why people think it's very hard to use GitHub, but it's pretty easy. It's just a web-based interface and it's very easy for beginners to start with. How to delete the repository? So that's very easy. Click on that repository, then settings tab, and scroll down to the end of the page. Here you have the delete this repository option. Just type the name, copy it and paste it from here. Hit example, delete. That's it. That's how you delete an errors, right? Akash Jan has also deployed venue. Very good work, Akash.
So I think you're on mute.
Okay, thank you. I was on mute. Thank you, thank you. So, but you were able to view my screen, right? Like just clone the repository, then go to that folder, right click, new folder. As Pawan asked to create a new folder, we are doing it for him. Then create a new file inside that folder if you wish to, or even if you just don't wish to, you just have to create a folder. That's also fine for that. Then after you do a git status command, you run a git status command, so it will give you the status of every change that you have till now. So we have created this example folder, right? So that file is currently not being tracked. So what we do is that git add everything. Dot means everything, all. We added it, then we do a git commit. So what it will do is that it will open a default text editor for you to write the commit message. So create example folder, and in the description I'll be writing at test.md for what was your name? Power. Save it, close it, and it's done. We have committed it. Now at the end, what we do is run git push. That's it. You'll have your changes live on the URL itself. We'll just reload it. We have this example folder. Inside that, we have this test.md. Fine, Pawan, you got it. How to create subfolders. Even if others were not able to catch it, that's fine. That wasn't a part of the session. It was done on special request. So yeah, welcome. Cool. So I hope everyone have few who were actively involved have done the deployment with me. Now my final thoughts on Git and GitHub. So I have explained you theoretically also and we did practically also. So basically, why do we actually need a tool like GitHub when we can you see once more? What do you want me to see, Falcons? You just paste the URL right here and we'll view it after this. So why do we actually need something like GitHub when we already have Git like VCS systems like Git and Mercurial? Because those are some things that you need to deploy it on your local machine. And for current working conditions, there are a lot of places where people are working remotely on same code base. And even if they are working in the same office, it's not practically feasible to transfer the changes over local network. That's why we have systems like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and a lot of other distributions that help you make your code live on the cloud so that it's accessible 24/7 at by any of the users that you want to access it, right? So that's why we use cloud-based version control systems like GitHub. And GitHub also provides you a lot of other functionalities that are not a part of the basic PCS systems, like deploying your websites, adding packages, creating releases, and a lot of things. Like you can even create workflows for that. You can have something like whenever you commit a new file, it will auto deploy it to the GitHub pages or any other source for that demand. And there are a lot of things that you can play around, tinker around with GitHub, and there are a lot of documentations available. You can go through it, and it's a very fun process to play around with GitHub, right? Because it's a tool that will help you throughout your career in software engineering, and it's very handy because it's free to use. And as a student, what you can do is that you can go to this URL education.github.io. I'll just paste it in the chat if anyone wants. And from here, you can grab a student developer pack. So what student developer pack is, it will help you learn to ship software like a pro. There are a lot of tools that are paid for normal users, but you can get it for free till you are a student. Right? So you can even get your custom domains. You can have premium access to JetBrains Studio, AWS, and whatnot. Like every service you can name it, it's available for free for students. And until you are a student, you can access all of those services at zero cost. So that's something very beneficial for students. You can just go to this URL, click on get your pack, enter the basic credentials that you're asking for. As I already have it, it just redirected me. But for you, it will open up a new form. You can fill in your details there, and within a week or so, you'll get a confirmation by GitHub that your pack has been activated. Then you can use all the tools available here, tinker around with them, play with them, and get a boost in your software development career, because otherwise it's very costly to get all these softwares available at your disposal, right? So you can even learn. There are various courses you can have from here and whatnot. Everything you need as a student to become a developer is available here. Right, so now we are towards the end of the session. So I'm Abhizan. You can connect with me on my website devabi.tech. It has got all my social URLs linked to it. You can connect over with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, anywhere you wish to. You can fire up your queries via emails, and I'll be there to help you around. You can just note down this URL if you want. I'll just paste it in the chat box if anyone is interested to connect with me later on. That's my website. I created it using React.js. So you guys can consider learning React as a part of your student developer initiatives, and you can create very good website with it. There are a lot of sections. I've linked everything here. You can get in touch with me through any means you wish to. Yeah, so that's it from my side. Now Ankita can take over and you guys can ask me anything if you wish to. Ankita, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, please, you can take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Abhi. I think you can also share your LinkedIn ID on the chats if they want to connect with you, if they are not able to find you. Also, like if you guys have, like, I think everything was very clear. We went very slow. Like Abhi had taken the session very slow and had taken a pause for all of you to complete the desire, like the required concepts and everything. So even if you have like any questions regarding GitHub pages and how you can upload your projects, please feel free to ask on the chats, or if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, please feel free, because Abhi is here with us for like next few minutes. And otherwise we can like end the session for today. So if you don't have any questions, you can just mention maybe like no questions on the chat, so that we can like understand if you have any questions, and if you any of you have any questions regarding the GitHub. Everything is clear?
So I have a question from Falcons. Can be uploaded PHP in GitHub? Yes, you can upload any type of code, any language, anything you want to have. The base condition is that GitHub Pages looks for index.html in your source code, and even if your PHP website has that base URL of index.html, so there is no issue with that. You can easily upload your PHP websites, and it would be as smooth as uploading an HTML source code. Can you provide your LinkedIn ID? So, Kansa, everything is linked on my website. You can just visit it, and you have all my socials there itself.
Nice, nice. So, I think that will be really good. So, thank you so much, Abhi, for joining us today for the GitHub session. And I hope, like each one of you who have joined us today, even if you couldn't do it practically and do the hands-on with Abhi, you can go back to your place, and you will receive the recording of this session as soon as you leave the meeting on your email ID itself through which you had signed up, because there is a recording going on for this session. And I would really appreciate if all of you can go ahead and utilize these concepts for uploading your PHP list for PHP projects. So thank you everyone, and thank you Abhi.
Thank you, Ankita, for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone, for being patient audience and following along with me. Connect with me on the social platforms, and I'll see you around. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone, for joining us.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.